Hello everybody and welcome to this video where I will go through the improvements we're doing to our expert division and our expert guide experience on patreon.com/golfclashtommy. To sign up for that, you can scan the QR code on the screen or go directly to patreon.com/golfclashtommy. You do have the link in the description down below, and scanning the QR code or clicking the link or using the link doesn't immediately make you sign up. You will go to the page where we have all our packages. There you can find whatever you're looking for, but you can go with the standalone expert division packet for 18-hole tournaments, bundle it together with 9-hole cups, bundle it together with checkpoint challenge, tour play. I mean, we have something for each and every one. In this video, I will show you some example slides of our new guide format that we are launching together with other improvements with the first 18-hole tournament in June. And we're also going to talk about clubs that we're using and catering to, also what type of balls we're catering to when it comes to expert, because it's very easy to get kind of blinded by, oh, you're just using that type or that type. I'm going to go through that at least so you have a wider understanding of how we are thinking and what we're using. But first, I'm going to talk about some basic information, talking about the team that we're having and our thought process when it comes to creating Golf Clash guides. Our team in Expert are now bigger than ever before. We are continuing improving where we can improve. And the big thing with having a bigger team is that we can now be quicker. Not to say that we were slow before, but we understand how important it is for players to get the shots out quicker and being able then to get their run down faster, or at least having shots to work with if they want to spend time in practice and stuff like that. There are 3 words that we're looking for, or like that we are always working towards improving when it comes to creating guides. That is quality, consistency, and speed. When it comes to the quality, we are creating base shots when it comes to free to play, or like that we can always be played free to play. Doesn't mean that you have to play with low level clubs to have a good experience with that. You can play with any type of club that is listed on the guide. When it comes to the quality as well, it's always important to have a shot that we feel that we can drop. Obviously, we're not just gonna automatically drop shots like that. It does not work like that. You need to put in the work first, and then you should expect, if so, to get a drop or 2. But focusing on having a consistent shot that comes out quick, but then don't have the quality, what's the point really? So it's important that everything kind of speaks together. When it comes to consistency, it's always about looking at consistent aspects when it comes to replicating a shot, because that's what you are doing. All from having consistent spins, being easy to replicate full spins, to a consistent drive that puts you at the same spot. It may not be the best thing to use full topspin and full overpower, because then you will be having a difference of 20 yards from time to time. It's maybe better than to play a little bit shorter, and you can then be a consistent player up to a specific yardage, which means then you can be consistent on the second shot as well. And when it comes to the curl type of thing, trying to use not some type of half-ass curl, trying to use full curl or something where we can reference the circle. Also when it comes to the technique of, if you do not have those specific fancy grid lines, that we are using the circle drop function to allow you to be consistent with the curl, so you're not going to struggle being like 10 yards further or 10 yards shorter if you're unintentionally applying some underpower or some overpower. And then we do have the speed part. Now we are blessed having, once again, a big team, a lot of really good people in terms of creating shots, but also when it comes to creating the slides. Now being able to shave off several hours in terms of delivery time, especially when it comes to the opening round. And I understand that this is something that is very important for player, because this game is a time-consuming game to play. And when it comes to having a guide, we do want players, not just when it comes to, you can start early as we do have a live document already from start, but when it comes to for a full 18-hole round, hole number 18, is usually posted around 15 hours after we start the round. Then you can play the holes as you go, of course, but when it comes to the full round, we're looking to shave that off a couple of hours to get done with the full 18-hole round quicker. But again, to have that said, we do have the live documents, so those that do and can go sooner has the possibility to do so, and every step of that way as well will be quicker, as the shots will then created and slided quicker as well. So those three things, quality, consistency, and speed, is what makes us the market leader when it comes to making guides for Golf Clash, for tournament, tour play, and checkpoint challenge. But now let's go on and talk about the clubs a little bit. But before we do that, scan the QR code or use the link in the description down below, sign up, and get the full expert experience with us. So let's take a look at the clubs that we are using in Expert Division. When it comes to the drivers, which is, I mean, I would say key to many of the shots to be able to replicate it in a good way, we are going to use and continue to use Apocalypse level 4 plus as our main driver. We will, however, also add notes for Extra Mile level 8 plus over a transition period. This, as we do have a lot of players that are taking a stab at Expert after have been in Pro for a long time. You may not have Apocalypse level 4 or just feel more comfortable playing with Extra Mile level 8. Extra Mile is a club that you do unlock very early, and it's a very big chance that you do have that in a decent level quicker than many other drivers. So Extra Mile level 8 plus, and then Apocalypse level 4 plus as our base drivers. When it comes to the Wood Club, we are using, let's go back to drivers again. Have to add as well, when it comes to the quarterback and also the rock, we are using those clubs when we do believe we can. It's not gonna be possible all the time, as we sometimes do just need a lot of power. But obviously, when we can use an accurate club such as the rock and the quarterback, those clubs will be added there too. Then there will be scenarios on par 3s as well, where might be other scenarios and stuff, but at least it's good to understand that we do have a base, that we're not just using the best club and the best ball on creating our shots. When it comes to Wood Club, Sniper level 9 plus is where we are looking to be. Sniper level 9 plus is a level that many players do have that do play Expert, and so it is important for you to have in mind that you don't need to have Sniper level 10 to be able to follow our shots. Obviously, there will be scenarios where we're using the Guardian. There will be scenarios where we do need a lot of power and we're using the Big Dog or a Cataclysm. And when it comes to the Guardian, it's Guardian level 8 plus. When it comes to the Cataclysm, it's Cataclysm level 4 plus. And the Big Dog is usually around level 8 or level 9, as that's a club you upgrade pretty early. So in that sense, we do have that as well covered. When it comes to long irons, we're talking about the Grizzly as our main long iron here, and that is level 7 to level 9. This, as we do have the 4.4 ball guideline, and also the Grizzly is a way easier club to upgrade than what it is with the B52. When it comes to our user base, the majority do have a Grizzly level 7 plus, and a very small percentage of players do have the B52 level 6 or better. So the Grizzly level 7 plus is what we're looking for. Short irons, we do focus on the Thorn. It's kind of like an all-around club in the sense of that people are having that very upgraded in an early stage of their game. And when it comes to the Thorn, we do have the backspin as well, which is very valuable. There will be times as well where it might sneak in the Hornet, might sneak in the Falcon, but that's going to be very rare, as the Thorn is the club that the majority is having, and not the high levels of the Hornet and the Falcon. Now, when it comes to wedges and the rough irons and sand wedges and stuff like that, it's not something I will go into, because that's usually just down to personal preference. Obviously, a high upgraded Endbringer or a Rapier is definitely a good advantage when it comes to the wedges in the game, but it's not something that is essential. So these are the clubs that we're looking for. When it comes to the balls, there is obviously a wide variety of balls in this game. Obviously, you can play with paid balls, but it's important for me to talk about the fact that all our shots or all our base shots and on every hole you can play free to play. It means that you're playing with a ball that you can obtain in the game without having to spend money on getting it. Then you can play a pay ball as well on every single hole. So it's important to read the ball stats that you can see on the slide. I'm going to go through that as well here in this video. And to just be understanding that, or like the understanding that is important here is that you can play with so many different golf balls that you just need to look at the stats and then look at your inventory or look at our website golf-tommy.com and see what balls you can actually use on that particular hole. We will try we will always try to make sure that we do have a lot of balls being able to be used on the specific shots that we are creating. Let's take a look at our new guide format from an expert division perspective. And we start with the team. We do have the shot team, slide team, and the customer service team, all there to help each other, have each other's back, and we are not then relying on everyone to always be on place. We can allow for someone to be sick. We can allow for someone to have a little holiday without it being massive amount of pressure on the ones that are left. So that's the beauty with having a lot of people. You can contact the people on the customer service team on Telegram as well if you would like. When it comes to Brandon Burke's role, he is going to be focusing on more aggressive put options, give him more flexibility and allow him to think a little bit more outside the box than what he has been allowed of doing so far. And that's going to just create it's going to be just so much better for Brandon and for all the users. When it comes to Paul and Grant's going to focus more towards base shots, also some more aggressive put shots as well. But Paul and Grant has shown their absolute world class in these many months. And for Paul, years that they have been creating guides for you user. They might not be highlighted as much, but trust me, they have as equal part in our guides as everyone else has and has been part of your success for a long time. When it comes to Franco and myself, we're gonna be there as well to help out if we need to back up someone that might need to be away or sick or something like that. I will most likely be involved whenever I can in the weekend rounds and to do some aggressive put options if there is something that, someone maybe don't have that specific ball, but I may have that and I can spend some balls there and stuff like that. So just means that we have every angle covered. But now the biggest thing with here is that we're gonna go through a couple of slides when it comes to our expert format, when it comes to the guide, and you can see here that there are some changes. The biggest change, I would say, is that we're going from a top to bottom view perspective to a left to right view perspective. We're also removing some stuff that we do deem not necessary because we felt that they are just taking unnecessary space, and it will then allow us to be a bit more flexible now with those things not on the slide. So to just mention what we have removed is the aerial picture. We have removed that one completely. We don't see that as a necessary thing on the guide. When it comes to the ball pictures, that has been removed as well. And that is going towards the fact that we have so many players that are so focused on thinking that the shot can only be played with the balls that has been displayed as pictures. So we are removing those ball pictures to allow for players to actually look at their inventory to see what balls they actually have. You can always use the website and search if you want to see exactly what balls has the exact type of stats, but we do believe that it's actually have been a negative thing having pictures of the balls there. We're also removing the text that has explained what type of wind direction it is. We do believe that the wind arrow itself is pretty self-explanatory in the end. We do have as well, if we're continuing to look at the top part of the page before we go to the text and stuff like that, is that we do have the whole number obviously on the left, and then we do have the version number underneath that. So we don't have that on the bottom left of the page anymore. Then we do have the wind arrow, we do have the ball stats, we do have the option number with the target yardage, but then we're also added in the center there the logo together with the tournament logo and our logo combined with the Telegram logo, a lot of logos there. And the Telegram logo is obviously clickable like it has been before. Caddy tip on the right, top right, and that has been a box designed to allow for as much text as we are writing already today. And obviously my English is terrible sometimes, and then luckily I have people to help out to rewrite some of the stuff that I write, for an example. You can see here now that we do have put the pictures on the top left corner, like if you see the drive and the second shot, we do have the pictures there. And then we do have the main text on the side. We will always be highlighting the spins with a yellow background. We will always be highlighting the adjustment with a green background, just to try to have that to stand out a little bit, because it's important information. We're not removing anything in terms of main text otherwise, or adding anything. We're just doing exactly the same thing with that. You see, one big thing as well that we're changing is that we do not have any spin boxes anymore. The reasoning for that is that we believe that there's no need for having a spin box, that you almost can't see the spins anyway. So we have then decided that we are going to have the top spin, and then if any top spin or back spin and side spin, that we're going to have that in boxes that's going to be more zoomed in, that's going to allow for players to be more detailed and actually make an own judgment call on what you believe that is as spin. We do feel that this is going to create a much easier way for you to be accurate with spins. If it's not a complete, like a full spin scenario where you have 6 top spin and 3 right spin, for an example. Even though there are full spins, like for an example in this case the 3 right spin on the drive, we are still going to be putting that as a box there to display that spin. On the second shot, if we move over to there, obviously the picture and then the text is what it is. Continuing with having on the power pictures and over power picture if that needed. The shot structure box has been put on a slightly different place, going to be underneath the picture, but also in a more table format than what we had before. It looks cleaner and more nice. The info box is going to have, it's going to look prettier, but it's going to be having the same type of ID with it, where we're adding information if we do believe that there is something else needed to be said about the shot. Then we do have the wind angle picture. When it comes to expert division, we are definitely focusing on adding more of these type of details, as is something we have been discussing for a long time now, that obviously there are wind angle tweaks needed on par 4s and par 5s in Expert 2, not just in Master Division. We're adding a wind angle focus on these pictures as well, and we can then see in that case that you see wind angle focus is lamppost, and then you see underneath there that we do have what type of tweak we're looking for. Now it says lamppost, but there is no lamp on the picture, but I mean that's just for the sake of the example. The tables is always going to be on the bottom right of the page, and that's going to be for consistency's sake. We'll obviously be allowing for more tables if possible, and if we do have like some sort of a reference that is needed, we're looking to have that added as well, as per usual. So that's a 2-shot slide on a par 4, and we can just move on quickly to what we can classify like a send-it slide, and also the flexibility that it gives us with having a left to right type of perspective, where we can move that line, the dotted line that we do have in the middle, to then allow for more space, and also then to give us bigger pictures if we would like, still trying to keep the same type of structure when it comes to the picture and the text and stuff like that. And yeah, that's kind of self-explanatory in that sense as well. Have in mind as well that we do have the you see those buttons here. We have removed the Google Drive logo, as that could be a kind of confusing for people to actually understand what that was before. For us, it would be very easy to understand that it was, you click on that, you can see the video, but this play button should then display in a much easier way, that there is actually a video attached to the specific slide. I would say the par 3s though has gone through the biggest change, besides obviously the thing that we are actually changing the overall structure on the slide, is that you can see there that we're keeping a sort of an aerial pick on the par 3, as we do believe that an aerial pick in some sort is going to be valuable on par 3s. Because yeah, and then we're choosing to go in the way that we're doing on our tour play guides, where we're having an X instead, and we do have a more zoomed in picture of the specific green area, or fairway green area, so to speak. Shot structure box underneath, spin pictures, as you can see there, obviously under power and stuff like that. And then we do have the pictures to be bigger, especially the wind angle picture, which is something we have gotten feedback for, that people would like to have a little bit bigger wind angle pictures, and we have catered to that. You can see as well that we have made a change on the par 3. That is also that we are not having the red, yellow, and blue row attached to the VPR table. We're having that above the wind angle picture to allow for a much easier time to look at what type of tweak you need. VPR table obviously on the right hand side, and that's also one new thing for Expert that needs to be added, needs to be said at least, is that when it comes to our base shots, I was going to cater then to the full range of wind 3 and wind 4. It's not gonna be from 6.5 miles per hour to 8.0 miles per hour, just as an example. It's going to cover then the full wind 3 and wind 4 range. If we decide to add on a slide for wind 5, or like a new shot, or just the same shot but tested for wind 5, it's going to be a new slide, and it's going to be only with the VPR numbers for wind 5, allowing as well for more in-depth tweaks when it comes to the par 3s if the shot creator believes it's going to be necessary. So these 3 slides, or 3 slides this I wanted to display here in Expert, and you can see as well the guide format is changed, but that's all due to taking another step into making it even more simple for you as a player to follow our guides, and also to allow for us to create the slides a little bit quicker than we have done before. So we hope this is as exciting for you as it is for us, and please come with whatever feedback you may have about what the changes we're doing. And for those of you that do have the guides from us and have had that for a while already, this is definitely going to be a change, a new way to adapt to the guides. But trust me, it's not that big that it may look here. It's going to be fairly easy to do so. So I'm super excited to present this for all of you, and we are going to start this at it's going to be the start of the first new tournament in first new 18-hole tournament in June. As you can see and also have heard in this video, there are tons of values to signing up for the full Expert experience with us on patreon.com/golfclashtommy. Let us help you become a better player, and make sure to invest in a guide that makes you actually save money playing in Golf Clash. And that is a very interesting take on the concept of having a guide. If you do have any questions about anything here in the video, or you want to see an example guide, like another one or something like that, you go and email support@golfclashtommy.com, and we will help you through there. You can obviously get in contact with me on social media and on Telegram, but the safest bet to get a response the quickest, then it's to email support@golfclashtommy.com. Thank you once again for watching this video, and I wish you the best of luck in your Golf Clash game.